laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. The man with a thumb isn't seen very often on our nation's highways, but he still exists, a vagabond, a man on the move, and often a menace to society. The Highway Patrol has joined other law enforcement agencies in a program of education, warning both driver and hitchhiker alike of the possible dangerous consequences of this practice.
Well, thank you for stopping, young man.
How far are you going, old-timer?
Well, just as far as you'll take me.
Hop in. Well, what's the idea?
Do as you're told and you don't get hurt. Drive.
We've got a new case. A hitchhiker who's been pulling a gun on his victims.
Oh, come on. They're not still picking up hitchhikers.
Yep.
Stoops.
Victim's in the next room. I'd like to have you talk to him.
All right, come on, let's go.
Name's Walter Miller, truck driver. Oh, don't get up. Mr. Miller, this is Mr. Matthews.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd like him to hear your story. Now, first, what'd the man look like?
Like a guy who needed a ride. Kind of down at the heels. And a bushy head of hair, like he couldn't afford a barber. And dirty clothes, like he'd been walking a long time. If I'd known he was going to clobber me, he'd still be walking.
Yeah, well, could you be more specific? His height, his weight, coloring.
I didn't get a chance to study him, if that's what you mean. As soon as he hopped in, he pulled a gun. Told me to drive to the Mill Road and Highway 48. He clobbered me, took my wallet, and scrammed.
Would you know him if you saw him again?
With that bushy head of hair, I should say so. Only now, on my money, he'll probably get a haircut.
Any other way you could identify him?
I don't know. His face looked kind of funny close up. Like old leather.
Old leather? And weather-beaten?
I don't know. I guess so. Only one question I'd like to ask.
Yeah, what's that?
How come he picked me? I only had $30 in my pocket.
He didn't pick you. You picked him, sucker.
Turn it off. Now take out your wallet. Carefully. Your wallet.
If you want it, take it! We got to get out of here.
Joe, what happened? Your beard.
The stoop, the big fat stoop made like a hero. Started to rough me up and pull my beard off.
Joe, you didn't...
What'd you want me to do? Let him go so he goes still to the cops? Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, thanks. The lab says the truck is clean.
You mean I can go back to work?
Yeah, that's right. And thanks for your cooperation.
What cooperation? All I can tell you about the guy is that he needs a haircut, and that he has $30 that belongs to me. You think you can catch him on that?
I'll tell you one thing. We'll try, and I promise you that.
Wish you luck.
Thanks.
Well, I guess he won't pick up any more hitchhikers.
I'll make books somebody else does.
$3110 to headquarters.
Well, Joe? Now it isn't penny ante holdups any longer. It's murder. And the cops will be right behind us.
$7. $7 lousy bucks. It's all he had in his wallet. Why did he fight me?
Told you not to take a gun. Someday you'd use it.
How much money do we have altogether?
$32. And this makes $39.
Doesn't get us very far.
No. But we sure can't stay here.
Move on to the next town. We'll find ourselves a pigeon there. A fat one this time. One with more than $7. Get ready to move.
How was he when you found him?
He was dead. The only evidence was some gray hair he was clutching in his hand. Lad's analyzing it now. Whoever did it took off up the road. Left a good footprint right on the other side of the car. Lad's doing a plaster on it.
Any witnesses?
No, none. Victim's wallet was missing, though. We did a make on him from the car registration. His name's Martin Hoffman. His wife's been notified.
Okay, thanks.
I don't think we should have stopped here, Joe.
Why not? Good a place as any.
But the police will be looking for us. We're too close to the last place.
The police aren't looking for us. There were no witnesses. And who could connect me with that old man that got into Hoffman's car? Nobody.
Oh, you have all the answers, Joe, but I'm still scared. When we started, you promised nobody'd get hurt. If I'd known there'd be this, I wouldn't have come with you.
You worry too much. We managed to fool the cops in 7 states, and that makeup kit's going to carry us all the way to the coast.
Okay, thanks. That was a lab. They come up with a surprise. You know that gray hair Hoffman was clutching in his hand? It isn't human. It came from a wig. And they found some matter under his fingernails. It's a grease paint used by actors in makeup.
That figure scan, take a look. Hitchhiker's M.O.
Let's see, first robbery pulled by a character needs a haircut. Second, an old man with whiskers. And a third by a crew-cut mug with a mustache. I see what you mean.
All right. Contact every newspaper, radio, and TV station. Tell them to be in alert, tell them to people not to pick up any hitchhikers.
Right.
Matthews. Oh? All right, thanks. Hold it.
Oh, hold on.
Got something else for you. The lab boys. Got a good make on the footprints. Oh, the guy's about 170 pounds, 6 feet tall, early 30s.
On our hitchhiker. He's 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, and his 30s. Yeah, that's all we've got so far. We're just working from footprints.
Ken, the out-of-state reports. A hitchhiker, take a look. Doing 1,400 miles in 6 days.
That's an awful lot of territory for one man to cover by himself. My guess is he's got an accomplice who picks him up after each job and they move on fast.
Yeah, you're right, but Hopkins was dead 4 hours. So we know he's in this area.
You think he could be backtracking?
I don't know. He never backtracked before.
Has he killed before?
No, that's the whole thing that's bothering me. Now, take a look here. See this? We know he's going west.
Yeah. See, with his knowledge of makeup, our hitchhiker could be an actor. I'll check with the Actors Guilds in New York and see if there's any show on the route he's following. I'd better alert the hotels and motels, see if any of their guests happen to be using theatrical makeup.
Joe, what's the matter with you? If the cops find this wallet on us, it'll tie us right to the murder.
Oh, stop worrying. I'll get rid of it.
Joe, what's happened to us? I don't recognize me anymore. And I don't recognize you.
It's the makeup.
Joe, you've killed a man. And you sit there joking about it, and I hate you for it.
What do you want me to do? Walk up to the nearest cop and say, "Here, arrest me. I just killed somebody."
I don't know.
Relax, Dolly. We'll soon be on the coast.
Joe, I want to go home.
What's home? A lousy 2-room cold water flat on the 3rd floor? Or your mother's house? She hates my guts. The only home we've got is where we make it. You and me. Oh, baby, there's lots of jobs out west. It's the place for us. And nothing's gonna stop us.
Joe, I'm so confused.
You know, we've been operating the same way in 7 states. First the guy that needed the haircut, then the old-timer, and the mustache. You know, the cops aren't exactly stupid. With this Hoffman dead, they could be getting a little excited. I think it's time for a change.
What kind of a change?
Well, there are plenty of diners up and down the highway. We'll pick our next pigeon in one of those diners and follow him to a nice, quiet spot. And we'll pick a guy with more than $7.
Joe, please don't take your gun with you.
Dolly, you're not thinking right. Suppose I hadn't taken the gun that last time with the Hoffman character. This is more than just a gun, Dolly. This is my friend.
His latest victim, Martin Hoffman, had resisted. Parker killed him, but the murder had netted him just $7. He had to change his M.O. to be sure his victims carried more money. The clues furnished by Hoffman's death and the out-of-state police reports had enabled Dan Matthews and the Highway Patrol to trace Joe Parker's trail of crime across the country.
How's it going? Well, it's been real quiet. Not a single out-of-state car, no sign of a hitchhiker.
Headquarters at 2150.
2150 by.
All talent guilds in New York checked negative. No theatrical activity on the route taken by a hitchhiker. 10-4.
10-4.
What took you so long?
Had to find the right pigeon. It's a long way to California, and we're going to make it in one jump. There's a luxury job outside that belongs to a character by the name of Shane, who lives at 472 Elm.
Which one is he?
We're not going to play guessing games. Sit in our car, wait for him to come out, and then follow him to a nice, quiet spot.
Suppose he goes home.
Who cares where he goes? We'll nail him wherever it is. This one's too big to lose. Come on, finish up. Let's get out of here.
Headquarters at 2150. Headquarters at 2150.
2150 by.
Starview Motel on Elm and Overland, answering query on theatrical makeup.
I'll check it. Meet me there. 10-4?
10-4.
We've been here too long, Joe. Let's find somebody else.
We've only been sitting here 15 minutes.
Well, it seems like an hour. The cops could be breathing down our necks.
And you know, it's a good thing I was called by you fellas. Otherwise, I'd have thought nothing of it.
Looks like we hit pay dirt. Theatrical makeup.
Is that what you're looking for?
No, you've done pretty well so far. Look, what they look like, what were their names, what kind of a car were they driving, which way were they heading?
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and he was about 30, 6 foot tall, dark hair. She was a pretty thing, blonde, about 22. The car they were driving was a black convertible, old model, New York license, GS 4508. And when they checked out of here, they were heading west.
How long ago did they check out?
Exactly an hour ago.
I'll phone it in. Can I use that phone over there?
Right ahead.
Thanks.
Anything else you want to know?
No, one thing. Leave the room exactly like it is. The lab boys check it over.
Okay. Listen, you wouldn't be needing a good man in your outfit, would you?
Well, at the moment, no, but if I do, I'll call you, I promise.
Will you really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks.
This is Williams. Put out an APB on a two-door black convertible, older model, about 6 or 7 years old. New York license number George Sam 4508. Containing a man about 30, woman in her early 20s. All units approach with caution. Suspect may be hitchhiker killer. Contact New York DMV for ownership of vehicle. Have the lab examine the Starview Motel. And we want roadblocks at Highway 64, junction of Amherst, Mill Road and Bronson, Roxbury Boulevard and Pine.
What's keeping him so long?
I don't know. He's taking a long lunch, I guess.
He could be in there all day.
For a pigeon like this, we got all day.
Right. Lab boys are coming out. I got roadblocks all the main arteries out of town.
Which one is heading west?
That'd be the one at Roxbury and Pine.
I'll be there if you want me.
Okay.
This is it. Let's go.
Hey, what's the big idea?
All right, Buster. If you don't want to get hurt, do as you're told.
Okay. $3016 to 2150.
2150 by.
The car described by the motel owner has been traced to the hillside inn on Highway 56. The owner identified the man and woman we're seeking. Noticed them loitering. I've ordered an all-out check of the area.
I'll meet you there. 10-4?
10-4.
Turn around, put your hands on top of the car. Take it easy. You got a lot of money in it. Just take it easy, I won't shoot. Now give me your wallet. Here it is. Turn around. Bank knife.
All right, where is he? $21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters, why?
Send all units west on 56.
The New York DMV identifies that car as belonging to Joseph Parker, age 32, transit. 10-4?
10-4. You Mrs. Parker? Get out of the car. Come on, get out. Where is he? I know you're trying to signal him.
Here I am, copper.
No, Joe!
Come on, you haven't got a chance. A couple of minutes, this place is going to be swarming with police. You haven't got a chance.
You got just 10 seconds to do what I say. 1, 2, 3, 4...
Do what he says, please.
All right, what do you want?
Dolly, get his gun and handcuff him to his car. Get a move on, Dolly.
Sorry, but if I don't do what he says, he'll kill that man. I know he will.
Hurry it up!
All right. Let me have the cuffs. I'll do it for you.
You better give me the keys.
Move. Get in. Get out of here.
$21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters, by.
Joseph Parker, proceeding west on 56. He was with a wife and a hostage. Alert all units and set up roadblocks. Proceed carefully. 10-4.
10-4.
Joe!
Turn around, quick. Come on, get out of here.
It won't work, Joe!
Get moving.
Kid! Well, get me out of this. All right, I goofed. Give me your keys.
Okay, one. Put your hands behind you.
All right, let's go. Careful with my arm.
Be
All right,
careful.
hold still. You all right?
Yeah, okay. Watch yourself.
Careful.
You okay?
Yes, sir.
Get in my car. I'll drive you home in a minute. You're pretty lucky. All right, take him away. Come on, move.
I hope you'll be with us next week. Until then, remember, no matter how new, the safest device in your car is you. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Knowledge of a criminal's method of operation, MO, is a major element in law enforcement. The rapid analysis and distribution to all police agencies of any newly discovered MO is of the utmost importance. Through the last few months, 2 men specializing in market robberies used an MO with a new and vicious angle. To ensure cooperation of the store manager, a member of his family was held at gunpoint by one of the men, while the other committed the robbery. The robbery completed, the criminals made good use of their hostage, taking her to a spot on a lonely road, necessitating at least a 20-minute walk to the nearest telephone, giving them ample time to return to their own car and close out their trail.
Highway Patrol. A robbery? Yes, ma'am. What's your name, please?
Lewis. Mrs. Harvey Lewis. There were 2 men. One of them forced his way into my home and held me at gunpoint. The other went to my husband's store and demanded money. They threatened to kill me if he didn't hand it over.
How long ago, Mrs. Lewis? Headquarters at 2150.
2150 by.
A robbery near your 1020. Mrs. Harvey Lewis reports that 2 men robbed the Lewis Market by holding her hostage. They just released her. She's in a phone booth now at Colton Road and Brandon.
Got the description?
Yes, between 35 and 40. One is 5 foot 10 and a half, brown-haired, brown suit and hat. The other has dark hair, is dark-complected, 5'9", gray suit and gray hat. They're driving a 4-door sedan, 2-tone dark blue.
Right, get on an APB. We're going to pick up Mrs. Lewis. 10-4?
10-4.
Matthews, Highway Patrol.
I'm certainly glad to see you, Mr. Matthews. It was awful.
What happened?
Well, my doorbell rang. And when I answered it, a man shoved a gun in my face. He told me not to scream or he'd kill me. I was so frightened I didn't know what to do. He came right in the house.
All right, then what?
Then he asked for the phone. Said we wait for a call.
How long did you wait?
Oh, I'm not sure. About 15 minutes, I guess. When the phone rang, he answered it. Then he handed it to me and shoved a gun against my head. The call was from my husband.
And there was a man in his office demanding money?
Yes. Harvey had over $7,000 in the safe, he said. The man took it all. Then he had Harvey and me talk to each other on the phone until I heard a horn honk outside. Then he grabbed the phone and told Harvey we were leaving.
Did he look outside first?
No.
Well, they must have had a prearranged signal. You remember hearing anything unusual?
I think there were 2 short beeps, a pause, and another beep. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh. Then they took you out to the car.
They drove me here and let me off about a half a mile up the road.
And while you ran to the phone, they drove away. It's the same pattern as the 2 yesterday.
Yeah, it's almost identical. Where do you live, Mrs. Lewis?
520 Hillview.
$21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
Have one of the boys meet me at 520 Hillview. 10-4?
10-4.
Oh, boy. Sure was a ripe one.
Better than I expected. You know, with yesterday's take, this is the best 2 days' work we put in.
It's not over yet.
So all we have to do now is count.
When they brought you out to the car, where was it parked?
Right there.
And you came out the front door and into the car.
That's right.
Mrs. Lewis and I will look inside. You go to the market, see what you can find. Bring Mr. Lewis to headquarters. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
I'd like to have you and your husband look at some pictures. If you can identify him, it'd help us a lot.
We'll be more than glad to do anything we can.
All right, fine. Let's go inside, then we'll go to headquarters.
What's the next job worth?
Oh, I don't know. The last time I was through here, I think I cased it for about 10 grand.
And it's all set up waiting for us. All we got to do is go through the same old motions.
That's my point. We've been going through the same old motions for quite a while now. You know, you've got to give the cops some credit. They're smart.
They never even get close to us.
Well, they're closer to us now than when we first started.
How do you figure that?
Look, they trade information. They stack it up. They study it. Every time we pull a job, they learn a little bit more about us. All of them.
Like what? All they get is the word from some scared dame. The trail always dead ends at a stolen car.
So far. But you mark my word. One of these days, some smart cop's going to come along and get the jump on us.
I doubt it. But if it ever does happen, remember, we've always got the wife.
I got Lewis started on a mug file. Mrs. Lewis is about halfway through. Nothing yet. You find anything at the house?
I don't know. Here, take a look at this. They start off in the east, 4 jobs. Hide out for 2 weeks. They show up in the south, 5 jobs. Hide out for 2 weeks again, and show up here, 4 jobs.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Come here to the map. Yesterday, a marker was knocked off right here. Another one right in here. Today, the Lewis marker was knocked off. I figured we got one more hack at them. Right around in here, this area.
If they stick to their MO.
Yeah, I hope they do, because if they hide out again, we're going to have to start from scratch.
How do you crack an MO when the victims are afraid to notify us till the whole thing's over?
All we end up with is a stolen car.
Incidentally, the owner of that car they stole this morning still hasn't reported the theft. Now, sometimes people surprise me. They park their cars, leave them wide open, never bother to check.
Wait a minute. That could be the answer. Let's check their MO. They start off with a stolen car. If we could find out about it soon enough, that could be our break. Alert all TV and radio stations in the area.
I'll have a warning out every 15 minutes on every station. The public gets nervous enough about their cars, they might get a real fast report.
Right.
Sure, you're the thinker, Rolly. You call the shots. That's our deal. But let's not pass up 10 grand. It's a cinch. We haven't even seen a cop yet.
Okay. I agree with you. It's too good to pass up. Why don't we do it when we're going out of town?
What are we waiting for? Let's check out.
Wait a minute. You keep that manager occupied while I pull the registration card. You know, I almost got caught the last time.
Okay.
All the stations are cooperating. It'll announce it every 15 minutes for the next 3 hours.
Well, that ought to do it. Matthews. Okay, keep on it. No luck from the motels yet.
You think they could be driving in from the nearby town?
Have them covered.
Unaware that the Highway Patrol was at this moment asking the citizens of a town to keep a sharp eye on their automobiles, the so far successful criminals, intent on one more job, started step 1 of their operation, a stolen car.
2110 to headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
We're in luck. I think I found something. Steele's Motel. 2 men answering the description stayed here last night. Checked out about 30 minutes ago.
This is Matthews. Stand by till I get there. 10-4?
10-4.
Hold it. We got something. Mrs. Lewis picked him out. She says she's positive. Name's Jack Rucker.
Rucker. You know those two gals were here the other day?
Yeah.
Call them back, see if they can verify it. Oh, what's he wanted for?
Murder. And he's the one that held the gun on her.
We better pick this guy up and fast. I'll see you at the car. Which room is it?
Room 2. Find anything interesting?
No, the lab boys are on the way out. Maybe they can pick up some prints.
Dennis talked to the manager, but she wasn't much help.
And why not?
She can't find the register card. She's still looking.
5 will get you 10. One of our playmates pulled it.
Since they checked out, do you think it means they're going to leave town while I pull another job?
I don't know. They left early. They got plenty of time to pull a job.
Lab boys will be here any minute. I'll get Dennis back on the beat.
Okay.
All right, Miss Watson. Just quiet down now and you won't get hurt.
What do you want?
You find out. Meanwhile, don't try anything funny, or you won't live a split second. Quiet. Be quiet. Now listen to what I have to say very, very carefully.
As Dan Matthews drove back to Highway Patrol headquarters, a few miles away in a quiet neighborhood, the vicious robbery scheme he had hoped to intercept was already well underway.
You better sit down, Mrs. Austin. You're awful scared, and I don't want you passing out. You're going to have to talk when the time comes, and I want you to talk awful good.
Anything yet?
No, just a crank and a false alarm. Here's a list of the market managers and their home addresses.
Yeah, that's quite a list.
That just includes the markets in this quadrant. You still think that's where they'll hit?
I don't know. They haven't worked that area yet, and the motel's right on the edge right here.
You know, knowing where they'd pick up a car would sure help us.
Let's see. They've been out about an hour. If we're going to get any action, we should get it pretty soon.
Well, I've got units in all the key streets.
Did you tell them when and if we get a report to check the market lots first?
Yeah.
Highway Patrol Larrabee. Yes, ma'am. Can you describe the car, please? And the license number? Mr. Matthews, I think we have the real thing this time.
Thanks. 2150 to all units. Stolen car. Black 4-door sedan, white sidewall tires. License. Nora X-ray 246.
It was stolen not over 30 minutes ago from the curb in front of 210 Maple Avenue.
Let's see, 210 Maple. That's not too far from the motel and shopping center.
Looks like your guess was a good one.
Let's take up a position in between. Come on, let's go.
We're going to get a phone call any minute now, Mrs. Austin, from your husband.
Bill, how do you know that?
Because he'll be worried about you. And he's got good reason to be worried about you, doesn't he? If he doesn't do exactly what he's told, I'm going to shoot you.
But why? Why? Please, what's this all about?
Money. If we get it, you'll be all right. If we don't, I'm going to shoot you. Now, that's the truth. You tell it to Bill when he calls.
2110 to 2150.
2150 by.
I spotted the stolen car. It's parked at Hughes Market.
Stake it out and keep me informed. 10-4?
10-4.
Here it is. Hughes Market, manager William Austin, 414 Salem Place.
Mr. Austin?
Yes?
This is a stick-up. Now, before you do anything rash, I suggest you call your wife.
What? My wife? What is this, a joke of some kind?
Call your wife. I don't think you're going to find this a bit funny at all.
I'll get it. Hello. Never mind who this is. Just talk to your wife.
Bill? Oh, Bill. Bill. I don't know who he is, but he has a gun and it's pointed right at me. I don't know. Bill, he says if you don't do exactly as you're told, he'll shoot me. Oh, honey, what?
What do you want?
Well, it's like I said, Mr. Austin. This is a stick-up. Instead of holding the gun on you, we hold it on your wife. We find it works better that way.
Ruth, now don't be afraid, honey. They want money, that's all. I'm going to give them every cent that's here. Now, you tell him that. He won't hurt you, honey. Just do as he says and don't be afraid. I'm going now to get the money. You tell him.
Philip. Hello, Mrs. Austin. Let me talk to my partner, please. Oh, I'm Mr. Austin. All of it.
Yeah? Okay. Everything's fine here. She'll be hanging on the line. Just hold this. Your husband's a little busy now, but he'll be back. He's kind of worried about you.
What part of the house you figure they're in?
Well, the living room. That's where he held the rest of them. I wonder if we can sneak up there without being seen.
That's gonna be no cinch.
Maybe we can use that hedge to hide behind over there.
Yeah, if I go along the hedge, underneath that window, I could make it to the front door. Shall I give it a try?
No. Let's wait for the other unit. I want to get a closer look at that house.
There's over $11,000 there. That's all there is.
Fine, Mr. Austin. Fine.
Now, you tell that man to release my wife.
Well, not just yet.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a little matter of our getting away. We don't want the police to be involved in this until we put some distance behind us.
If anything happens to my wife...
Well, whatever happens to your wife, Mr. Austin, is entirely up to you. Now, I'm going out that door. I suggest you get on that phone and stay on it. Because, you know, my partner gets awfully nervous if that connection is broken. Oh, and if you doubt whether my partner is still there with a gun, ask your wife.
Ruth?
$21.10 to $21.50.
2150 by.
Man with a briefcase just came out of the market and got in the stolen car. He's driving off now.
All right, tail him. Keep me informed. I want to be sure he's our boy. 10-4?
10-4.
Well, the other guy just left the market.
That gives us about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can't let Mrs. Austin get on the road with these guys. She's a building hostage. Too risky.
We can intercept the car.
Well, the timing has to be exact. If this guy gets an idea something's wrong, she's had it.
Well, how are we going to get her away from him? Whatever we try will be rugged.
We're going to have to pick him out coming up the front door, that's all.
Well, he'll probably have her in front of him.
We'll have to think up something to distract him.
You think it might be better to wait till they drop the woman, then pick him up?
Well, they can spot us. It's easy for them. There's one thing for sure, and I'll tell you this right now. They don't expect us to show up here.
2110 to 2150.
2150, bye.
I think he spotted me. He's speeding up.
All right. Let him think he lost you. Then try and catch up again, but make it look good. 10-4?
10-4. This is 2110. It worked. I lost him at Temple and Barnum. He's headed your way.
10-4.
Looks like he's our man.
Yeah. We'll intercept him right here. It's far enough from the house. Put Keith in the driveway. You cover him from over there. I'll be in the driveway down the street. And when the car passes, I'll send Keith out by radio. You got it?
Right.
Okay, move.
I hope so. I'm trying to, Bill. I only hope that...
I'll take that. Austin, I just want to prepare you. My partner will be here in a few minutes and we'll be leaving. We're taking your wife with us. Now don't get excited. It's just to be sure we get a little head start. If you both behave, you'll be hearing from her before long, and you'll never see us again. Now, won't that be nice? On the other hand, if there's any trouble, you can plan a funeral.
Okay, men, we're all set. Now get ready. When I say move, move. Now here he comes. Let's take it.
Okay, so I stole a car.
Yeah, sure did. Put your hands on the hood.
Wait a minute, cop. I've got something to say. And you ought to listen.
I'm all ears.
There's a woman being held, an innocent woman, with a gun at her head right now. If anything happens to me, my partner will kill her. I mean it. So I'd like to make a deal.
I got news for you. Put your hands up. We don't make deals. Come on, cuff him. Take him away.
No, he hasn't come yet.
You'll take your ride, all right. You just got tied up in a little traffic, that's all.
We're going to have to make this fast. That guy inside's going to get jumpy. Dennis, you work that hedge over there. When he comes out, make him turn to you. Ken and I will go around the block. We'll pull up right over there. Get my car out of the way. Come on.
All right, I'll ask him. Mister,
What?
what if your partner doesn't come? I mean, what if there's been an accident or something? Well, that wouldn't be our fault. I mean, you wouldn't do anything.
Oh, shut up.
But it wouldn't be our fault.
I said shut up.
When you get in position, give me the okay. Good luck.
You too.
Thanks, I'll need it.
That's him. He's here, Austin. We're leaving. Don't move until you hear from your wife. Come on, let's go.
You all right, Mrs. Austin?
I had to grab you pretty hard. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I never felt better in my life. You know, for a minute there, I didn't think I was going to live through it.
Oh, Mrs. Austin, have you got a telephone?
I sure do.
Do you mind if I use it?
No.
Thanks. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, if you care to drive, drive with care. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.